Hey everyone, and welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Before we jump in, if you want to stay on top of critical stories just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps us out.
All right, so let's get right to it. Ukraine already has the world-class Patriot system, which has been doing an amazing job. So why on earth are they asking for something even more powerful and way harder to get? Well, it's a huge clue that something fundamental is shifting in the air war, and Ukraine knows it. It needs to level up its defenses. We're going to break down exactly what's going on.
And really, to get why Ukraine is asking for more, you first have to understand just how incredible the system they already have is. I mean, the Patriot system didn't just meet expectations over there, it completely blew them out of the water. It's become this icon of technological might on the battlefield.
I mean, just look at this list. What's so wild is that these are the weapons Russia called unstoppable. The Kinjal, the Zircon, these were supposed to be the game-changing hypersonic missiles that were just too fast for any defense system. But guess what? Ukrainian crews with the Patriot proved that was just not true. And it's not just missiles. They've also managed to knock down advanced Su-34 fighter bombers, which is a huge deal because it forces those Russian planes to stay way back from the fight.
And listen, this isn't just our take. This comes straight from the top. You have Ukraine's own Minister of Defense saying that the Patriot's PAC-3 missiles are, quote, the most effective means against Russia's ballistic threats. When you hear that, it just drives home how essential this system is. It's not just a piece of metal. It's basically a battlefield legend at this point.
Okay, so if the Patriot is this incredible, undisputed champion of Ukraine's air defense, what's the problem, right? Why even look for something else? Well, the issue isn't a flaw in the Patriot itself. It's about the sheer scale and the growing complexity of what Russia is throwing at it.
Yeah, exactly. Russia's learning and adapting. They're not just sending one or two big, expensive missiles anymore. Now it's all about these layered attacks. Think about it. Waves of drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, all coming in at the same time, but from different directions and at different heights. The goal is painfully simple. Just overwhelm the system. Saturate the defenses so that something, anything, gets through. And they're pairing that strategy with new or modified weapons. Glide bombs, for instance, are a huge problem. They're relatively cheap, there's a lot of them, and planes can launch them from so far away that they're outside the range of many defenses. Now, sure, the Patriot can handle the Kinjal and Zircon, but now we're seeing newer things pop up, like the Oreshnik, which seems to be a new hypersonic weapon designed specifically to push systems like the Patriot to their absolute breaking point.
And this, right here, is where a whole new system enters the picture. To try and counter these threats that are coming in higher, faster, and are just way more complex, Ukraine is looking at something designed for a totally different kind of battle, the THAAD system.
So let's just be super clear about what THAAD actually is. The name itself, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, pretty much tells the whole story. It's a really specialized hit-to-kill weapon. It doesn't explode near the target, it physically smashes into it. And it does this way, way up in the thin air of the upper atmosphere or even in the vacuum of space to take out ballistic missiles in their final dive towards the ground.
And this table here is really the key to understanding why Ukraine wants it. Look, the Patriot works down low, in the atmosphere. It's for point defense, like guarding a specific city or a critical airbase. THAAD operates way, way higher up, providing this massive protective umbrella over a whole region. So they're not rivals, you see. They're meant to be teammates, working together to create a layered defense.
Let's use an analogy to make this super simple. Think of a soccer team. The Patriot system, that's your goalie, standing right on the line, ready to make that crucial last-second save. THAAD, on the other hand, is your star defender, playing way out in the midfield, intercepting the ball long before it even gets close to becoming a shot on goal.
And the secret sauce that makes THAAD so effective at long range, it's this thing, the AN/TPY-2 radar. Seriously, this isn't just a radar. It's one of the most powerful transportable radars in the entire world. The fact that it can spot and track a tiny, super-fast missile from hundreds of kilometers away, that's what makes the whole system tick. The missile Interceptor gets the glory, but this radar, this is the brain of the whole operation. So, okay, THAAD sounds like the perfect next step for Ukraine's defense, right? But here's the catch, a huge one, and it has nothing to do with technology or tactics. It's a simple question. Can they even get one? And the short answer is, well, it is really, really complicated. The fundamental problem is there just aren't enough of these top-tier systems to go around. We're seeing reports that the Pentagon is under so much pressure with its own stockpiles that it might have to redirect weapons, including Patriots and THAADs, that were originally meant for Ukraine and send them to the Middle East instead. And just to give you a sense of the scale of this demand, it's absolutely staggering. Since 2022, European countries alone have signed contracts for something like $50 billion in air defense systems. So this isn't just a problem for Ukraine. It's a global scramble for the same, very limited, very expensive gear. So you have to realize, Ukraine isn't just filling out a request form for a weapon. They're jumping into a ferocious global competition. Tensions are high in the Middle East, Europe is rearming at a crazy pace, and everyone wants the exact same thing: Patriot and THAAD batteries. That creates a massive supply crunch, and for a country in the middle of a war, like Ukraine, that puts them in a really, really tough spot. Which, it kind of begs the question. Given how unbelievably hard it is to get a THAAD system, what's the ultimate goal? Is this really just about stopping some glide bombs, or is there something bigger going on here? A larger strategic game being played? And it seems there is. This request for THAAD is tied directly into Ukraine's bigger push for long-term, rock-solid security guarantees from its partners. Think about it. Getting a system this complex isn't like getting a temporary loan. It's a deep, long-term commitment. It means years of training, maintenance, integration. It's as much a political signal as it is a military tool. And President Zelensky himself has spelled out what a concrete difference this could make. He said that with a system like this, the threat from Russian bombs would, quote, simply not exist within a 200-kilometer range. I mean, imagine that. It would completely change the game on the front lines, protecting cities, soldiers, and supply lines from one of Russia's most effective and brutal weapons. And that really brings us to the core dilemma, doesn't it? On one hand, the strategic reason for Ukraine to get a high-altitude shield is crystal clear. It makes perfect sense. But on the other hand, you have the harsh reality of a global supply chain stretched to its breaking point. It makes this a very, very difficult, maybe even an impossible request to fill, at least right now. And that's where things stand. Thanks so much for tuning in to this explainer. If you found this useful, please do us a huge favor and like, share, and subscribe to the Global WarWatch Network. We genuinely want to hear what you think, so drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you want to join the conversation, all of our social media links are waiting for you in the description. We'll catch you on the next one.